I'm going to take this plant and it's a Sassacua. I'm going to cut it off here and put another plant onto here that I want to grow rather than this Sassacua. Okay. Sassacua root systems are more hardy against root rot, and they're just a better root system than Japonica. See, I got the cutting edge down. I'm going to cut it at an angle like this.
Let me get in there and get that. Okay, 45 angle.
At some angle like that. And I'm going to take my handy dandy knife. I wiped all of this stuff off with Clorox before I came down here because they say you don't want to get any virus down in this. But this is the first time I've done that because I really don't believe that. I've handled these plants all around here today, you know, and I got virus, and if I've got them, I've got them on my hand anyway. Anyway, I'm going to take and split that a little bit with my handy dandy knife here.
2.5 to 3 inches deep.
Yeah, whatever makes you happy there. Okay. The growth buds here, here, they're growth buds.
Growth buds meaning a stem or a flower is going to come out?
A stem. This will grow a stem. Okay. And I'm going to cut this one off here like this. Got a growth bud, and I've got
at least one leaf.
And this is Lady Claire. I got to have at least one leaf to have some green on it. I'm going to cut part of that leaf off in a minute, okay? But I'm going to shape this to where I can stick this down in there. And around the edge, there's the cambium layer of the plant. There's a small green area. All the nutrients for the plant come up through the cambium layer. And so you got to get the green part of this to touch the green part of that. It has to touch or it won't live. You got to have those two green areas touch as I put this down in there. Okay? And that's the trick to it. If they touch good and everything, usually this will take. But when it doesn't take, it's usually you didn't make them touch. Okay? So I'm going to try to shape this a little bit. I shape it in a V shape down and a V shape in, where I can fold that around this plant as I slip it down in there. Okay? Is the idea I'm going to try to do this. And with this one, I don't think it makes much difference which way I shape it, so I'm going to shape it like this. So you can see the cambium layer, the green, the small green around that. And I got
Does it matter if the stem is the same size or similar to the one you're grafting to?
No. This needs to be bigger. Usually, I've grafted on where they're bigger than my thumb, you know, or pretty big. When I did this to one of my plants in my yard, where I cut them off, all of them at eye level, and they had about 20 sticking up, and I grafted about 20 onto the top of these, different colors. And I got 3 plants that have about a dozen, about a half of them took, and I got about a dozen different colors of blooms in these 3 plants in my front yard.
Cool.
If you got a small yard, that's a help.
Yeah, absolutely.
So will that graft change the color, change the flower on that stem or on the entire plant?
It'll grow, from what grows out from this will be what this originally is. Okay?
And you don't let it grow out below, so you don't get any more.
You take anything that starts growing down here, you take off.
But if you ever were to let any of these later on grow out from here, would they be the old color?
Yeah, oh yeah, that'd be
So
dope.
if you let it grow out, eventually you'd have two different flowers on
Yeah.
the same plant.
Right, exactly. You want it shaped down to be careful, don't cut your thumb, okay? You can see I'm shaping it in and shaping it down, okay? Where this layer wants to come down to a 0 on the inside there. And you can see that long area of green there I've got here, and the long area of green over here that I'm going to try to get to touch when I put it down in there. And I've got a little screwdriver that I use to stick down in this, open it up a little bit. Now I'm gonna cut most of this leaf off. The reason you do this is the nutrients to make this leaf. There's very little nutrients can get up through here originally. When you know you just got a little area that touch, you got to keep this alive by nutrients coming up to it. And so you don't want a great big, you don't want 2 leaves or a whole bunch of stuff tried to graft on. Very little to start out with.
Because that would stress the.
It would stress it, and it probably wouldn't make it. You know.
So that would, if you left the whole leaf, it would pull all of the.
You'd try to pull more than is available.
So then that might not
couldn't
take.
That's right. That's right. Exactly. Now I'm going to put this in here like this, where the thing. I got it.
You have to get that whole piece that you cut.
Now,
under the,
film it on this side where I've got this thing over here, where you can see is pretty where they're trying to touch. Those 2 green areas, the green on this and the green on that, trying to touch like that.
A little tricky because that cambium layer isn't very thick.
It's real thin, okay? That's the trick to it. You have to, so get it shaped down, and you might want to make that where it's just a little bit at an angle where it comes through and you touch it right there, you know? Anyway, there's guys that do it different ways, but that's the way I've learned to do it. It's pretty successful for me. I have some little wire ties. Got some bigger ones for when I do bigger bushes, but I put this wire tie around this.
So would rooting hormone do any good on something like this?
No, you don't want roots here. You want you got roots down below. You want for air layering. Oh yeah, air layering, root tone all over it, but not for grafting. I'm going to put this little
zip
tie around the edge and try to draw that sucker up some here. Right up the top of that.
How tight do you want to make that?
Pretty tight. In fact, I'm fixing to show you. I've got my special tools for that. A thing with a hole in it that I can put through here and draw it. Missed it. And draw it up pretty tight. Like that.
That's clever. You made that.
Yeah, it's just a piece of wood with a hole in it that you can slip over it and
Oh, yeah.
draw it up, because you can't do it very tight with your hand. And I clip this end of this thing off, and I have some stretchy tape here that one of the guys in the club had this, and I don't know where he got it, but a little bit will go a long way. A piece like this, I take and start out and stretch it around here. Try to,
Try to
pull
get it
it to.
airtight.
Yeah, you get it pretty tight, like this, going around it. But that sharp edge over there kind of gives you a bad time to kind of keep that wound airtight and doesn't let any bad stuff get in there.
No bugs, no disease.
And then I've got a little bit of, this stuff doesn't want to stick too good, so I've got a little bit of Scotch tape. I take a little bit of piece of Scotch tape and tie the end of it like this so it'll stick on there. Like that, that'll make it stick now. Now I've got it to that extent, to that place, okay? Now, I take and put some kind of covering over there to keep the humidity in it, so don't let it dry out. I use some of these, but for this size, a regular 2-liter pop bottle, you know, you can get Coke or Dr. Pepper or whatever, or 7-Up that's clear, and put over it like that. And I screw for this one. I have to turn it a little bit to get it down in the sole where it's tight, airtight. And now you can see it. And if you see it start to grow, okay, if it gets up here near the top, I take the lid off of this and let it grow out the top before I take this off, because the moisture, if it dries out, it'll die, and this will keep the moisture in there. Okay? And if you're grafted onto a big bush where you can't put this over it, you know, you're up here on a big bush, what we do is you got a big limb sticking out, okay, and this limb you want to graft a new onto that, okay. You take and put this around it, and here's here would be the plant sticking up in here off the end of my finger, okay. Put this around it, tie this to the limb down here, and then put a plastic bag over this, you know, out of your cereal box or something like that, something that you can see in, and put tape around it where it's airtight here, where just like this would be airtight. This would do the airtight, keep it right. And when you see it start to grow and it gets out to here, punch a little hole in the plastic and let a little bit of air in there. Okay, but don't just jerk this off. Most people take that off or this off too quick, and the thing it doesn't have enough energy to keep it alive, and it just dies. Okay, so this or that needs to stay on there 3 or 4 months. Okay,
This is the ideal time to do it, or wait till the fall?
now's the ideal time now. Okay, right before it's ready to start growth season. Okay.